Oh my god, it's a completely insignificant and uninteresting Doge thing. Whatever. Went through the list of stuff that I could pick up with Meridian Pastoral Sound even. Still getting those confused. And found this is the only thing that I could actually really grab. The only other, like, thing that could actually qualify is Ninjask. But when I found out that I could find Ninjask, I actually had to quickly check and see if I could get Shedinja in the wild, and it turns out that I actually couldn't. So instead of catching a Ninjask, I just went and caught another Nincada, evolved it, and so now I have both of those to add to the collection. Which I will show off once I have whittled this Grand Ball down a little bit. It should take a crunch, right? Yeah, that'll be fine. So I can go ahead and pick it up now. Immediately break out. Immediately break out. Immediately break out. What the fuck are you doing, Grand Ball? What the hell is this? Let's see. How many times is it going to shake here? Let's go. Oh, would you look at that? It actually caught. Okay. That is out of the way now. Can I fly through to Kanto here? Yes, wait. Okay. Let's get started up here at Lavender Town. So I'm just going to go ahead and show off this, and then I'm going to move on to the sped up stuff with all of the, like, trainers that I haven't fought yet on the eastern routes. There's probably going to be a split in between it where I find the Suicune. If I can avoid finding the Suicune and then maybe just, like, go back once I've actually gotten to Fuchsia City, then I'll do that. Otherwise, we'll just have to sort of split it up like that. So anyways, see, here's the Ninjask. I just picked up on Route 32 as an Nincada, leveled it up. So I got both of those, just caught that. I'm not too sure if there's anything else here that's that's not like radio sound. This obviously isn't. I was considering just adding Not Kaiser to the collection as my Dragonite, but I decided I wanted to, pardon me, belching. I decided I wanted to add another one. Parasect is in Mountain Moon just normally. I'm surprised I didn't actually pick up on the fact that I hadn't picked up Parasect yet. Vigoroth and Slacking are in the regular encounter tables. It's just they were a lot more difficult to find than their standard 15% would suggest. The problem with that was because I actually went over there and actually ended up finding out very quickly that the Daily Swarm, which we now have access to since it's post-game, was on Route 25, and so I just kept finding a bunch of Lairon. I eventually did find a couple of Vigoroth. I had to evolve one into a Slacking since you can't find it in the wild. Jumpluff's got found in so many different freaking areas with Meridian Sound. Staraptor was in Route 3, Pidgeot was in Route 2, Sunflora and Lopunny were on Route 25. Nidoking and Nidoqueen were Route 9. Ampharos and Luxray were Route 10. Aggron was in the Rock Tunnel. Gengar was in Route 8. It's actually different depending on the version what you will find with Meridian Sound in Route 8, because if you're playing Sacred Gold, you'll find Alakazam instead. And the counterpart to this is, like, the other Pokemon you find with this is Ninetales. And if you're playing Sacred Gold, then it's Arcanine instead. Not that those actually matter since you get the both of them in Route 35 anyway. Wait, 37. Yeah, 37. So, I believe that is everything. I will now go ahead and grab Rotom out of the box here. And I'm just going to go ahead and quickly rush down to some random point and then just promptly begin the sped up section. I probably should have actually gone back and... yeah, I probably should have gone and had a look at this item, but whatever. I don't think anybody's really going to give a shit. It's not like it's a played item or anything, so... anyhow, I believe this is where I left off last time, so I will go ahead and initiate the speed up, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll be nice and actually give you a song that's kind of good for this or something. I don't know. I thought the beach level thing with the last time was fine, but I might have to think outside the box because I don't want to do that a second time. Anyways, speed up, go. And so, since I've got about 4 minutes and 13 seconds to fill in here, since I couldn't be asked finding a song to put in this section, I might have to do so for the next one. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Pokemon playthrough of the day here. I've got 2 playthroughs to talk about here, since neither of them have made a great deal of progress, so I figured I might as well get them out of the way here. The first one I'm going to talk about is my Moon playthrough. This is on cartridge, unlike the previous Moon playthrough, which was on, like, the pirated version I got early. And at the moment, I am currently in the freaking, like, ranch town or whatever it's called. I think it's called Paniola Town. And I've got 5 of my team members at the moment. The first one I'll talk about is my starter, which was obviously a Poplio. I've already used the other 2, so Poplio was the obvious choice here. I had to soft reset for a female one, and when I finally did, I named it Harmony, because Primarina is very much like an opera sort of singer theme behind it, and so I figured Harmony would just sort of suit it in general, and I was quite happy with that. Next, I have a Turtonator, which I sent in as an egg. I named this thing Octo Bowser, because to me, it looks like a cross between Bowser and an Octorok from Zelda, and so I just sort of went with the name and just stuck with it, and it was quite nice. It is very bulky. As a result, it is very slow, but the bulk helps, and it hits pretty damn hard with its special attacks, so I've been enjoying that so far. Next, I have a Delmise, which I named Barrel Chest, after a boss from RuneScape who uses an anchor to fight with. So, obviously, I had some troubles finding out what I wanted to, like, really use for a nickname, and then I found out about that, and I was just like, sweet, that had to be the one. I possibly could have also called it Clanker, just because he's got an anchor as well, I think. No, he's just got a chain that holds him down, but whatever. Next I have an Alolan Muck. Well, it's not an Alolan Muck at the moment, it's still a Grimer. I named this thing Paddle Pop. The reason I named it Paddle Pop is because when I saw Alolan Muck for the first time, I immediately compared it to a rainbow flavored Paddle Pop, which is just basically like an ice cream down here in Australia. I think the UK might have an equivalent or something like that, but I'm not too sure. And then last, I have a Munchlax. This is the event Munchlax, and I named this thing XS Lard, just because it's a fat thing, and it has a lot more fat than it should really have. So, there you go. And then I just have this Smeargle. It's not part of the team, but I figured I might as well mention it here. I named it Cash Stack because it's literally there just to use Happy Hour. That is literally it. So, there you go. That's the 6 I've got with me. Cash Stack is going to get replaced once I get to the 3rd island with a Minior. The intended nickname I have for it so far is Meteor Rain, named after a trap card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That allows you to do piercing damage, I think it is. It's just, the artwork is literally just a whole bunch of meteors raining down on someone. So, I figured it would make sense for a freaking Meteor Pokemon to have a name a bit like that. So, that is that. I went through it a lot quicker than I thought I did, but at the same time, I still have another team to talk about, but I've got another sped up section later on in the segment, so I will probably mention it there. I will mention, though, that the next playthrough that's actually in line for my playthroughs is actually the one that you are watching right now, so obviously there's no real need for me to talk about it since I'm kind of in the middle of recording it. But the next playthrough I'm going to be talking about once the next sped up section comes around is the Alpha Sapphire Mystery Egg Run that I started a little while ago, and so hopefully you'll be able to, I guess, enjoy that, because I've got like 10 seconds left before I have to stop this thing. So, yeah, there you go. Enjoy. Yeah, alright, I think I'm skipped maybe like half a dozen trainers in there, but I figured since I've made it to Future City, I might as well go back to regular speed and commentary and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's just a random shelter here, and there's even more shelter, and you may have noticed a little bit earlier there was some more shelter. And to top things off, the shelter's blocking our access to Celadon City, so it looks like we're going to have to deal with these fucking things before we move on. There's also a random schmuck in the frickin' thing. Okay. That's frickin' lovely. Can't even frickin' heal. Can we at least use the PC? Okay, we can use the PC. Okay, that's not so bad. I just gotta go back and heal, that's all. Because apparently I'm just not allowed to heal here. God, these... I knew about this just because of the, forum post on GBA Temp telling me about it. But I didn't exactly expect to see a freaking cloister in the Pokemon Center saying, no, screw you, you're not allowed to heal here. Go back where you came from. I can't even... I'm an idiot because I just put my freaking Tropius away. Whatever. There is still actually an item that I wanted to go and collect, so I might as well pick that up. So, a few things you may have missed over there. There's, in that sped up section, random Pokefan with the fully evolved Kanto starters, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I ended up freaking sweeping them with a freaking... with a Carnivine anyway, so just kind of ruins his pride and whatnot. Some guy who says he's got a team full of Pikachus and has literally only one Pikachu and 5 other baby Pokemon. I thought that was kind of excellent. A whole bunch of phone numbers, and then it's just some random girl in a, well, more like a woman, but she's just sort of in a patch of grass. If my memory serves me correctly, she random, just skipping my freaking voice there, I don't know what the hell that was. From what I remember, she wants to get a Chansey, which I think you can find in this route normally, and she will trade you an Aerodactyl for it, for whatever reason. And in Gold and Silver, since you had no way to resurrect fossils, it was the only way you could get an Aerodactyl in those games. You have 4 Pokemon on your team. That's not very, very good at all, is it? Haunter, well, you're going to die to a crunch. Magneton, you... Well, I might as well get up another one of these and then sort of kill you in one shot with Crunch anyway. And then you get out of Crunch as well. Okay, cool. Really enjoying this sweep, but it now sits alongside Bolivat as my highest level, so it's not going to get a whole lot of screen time from here now. Instead, we're just going to keep sweeping with something else, I guess. Oh, hello. Was that a speed tie? I think that was a speed tie. Don't know why it went with the Focus Blast, though. Psychic would have done far better. Odd one. Yeah, this route, I don't remember this route having all of these ledges originally. I'm not too sure if that's the case just in these games or anything like that, or if it also was like this in Gold, Silver, Crystal. It's been a while since I played through those games, and Crystal Kaizo is not exactly the best indicator for like memory and stuff like that, because most of the routes are freaking changed up anyway to make them look freaking stupid. So, yeah. More spenders. You deserved that and everything else that you freaking get in your... that's negative in your life, you piece of shit. Fuck off. Pile of fucking dog shit. It shouldn't surprise me in the slightest, but every time it does happen, I'm just completely fucking taken back by it. I'm sorry, but he had... I'm not going to say it because I've freaking said it tons and tons of times already, but yeah. Shouldn't have fucking happened. I think that's the point I need to get across. It should not have fucking happened. Okay, I believe that was the last trainer in this area. So if I look up here, I'm pretty sure this is still like a in-game trade. I'm not too sure what it is different though. Chansey. Okay. I'm not too sure if that still counts as a trade or if you just get an item off her for showing her a Chansey or anything like that. I'm not too sure. Anyhow, if we go over here, somewhere, yeah, there's Suicune. And he just sort of walks slowly or whatever. Yep. It was indeed that cape in question that I mentioned a little bit earlier. So, now that we've found Suicune here, we can go back and pick it up anytime we want. Let me go ahead and instead just take care of some freaking cloisters. I mean, shoulders. Whatever. I kind of wonder... Okay, I kind of wonder if it was possible to just, like, battle any of these stupid things. I also kind of wonder if the, if there's freaking thing is just like headed by like a shiny cloister or some shit. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, but I guess they would probably have mentioned it in the special event thing if that was the case. So I imagine this is just nothing more than a random little side quest that was implemented for, I don't know, shits and gigs maybe. I'm not too sure. So let's go ahead and get up here. Where's... No, that's not one. Yeah, this one. Alright. Let's see what the hell we're freaking dealing with here and how we can resolve the situation. I also like how there's a ton of bloody shelters in this area, but there's still a slowpoke. And it's just sort of chilling there. It doesn't actually have a shelter on its tail at all, so it's a bit dumb. I'm also not too sure what the hell I'm supposed to be doing to mess around with this. Well, there's Janine, obviously, so let's have a talk with her. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, I guess that works. So does that mean I just have to go after the cloister in particular? Or do I have to fight like a bunch of shelters in anticipation? Okay, I guess we're just going to fight a whole bunch of shelter. Okay, well that thing's got skill links, so let's go ahead and switch into something that can actually deal with it. You know what the problem with cloister is? You can have a water move to deal with Floofin. Okay, Turbo Drum. Yeah, I kind of forgot the Turbo Drum just sort of like says absolutely no to these things. Alright, well that works. So I guess it's just a bit of a cleanup job thing. I think there's like another cloister over here. And so we just sort of kick its ass. If I didn't already have a cloister, I would certainly have picked one up now, but obviously there's no real reason to worry about that. Not too sure how many other cloister groups there are here. I know there's this one in the Pokemon Center, which I'm going to go ahead and knock over. Is this one actually shiny? It actually is. That's fucking excellent. That is awesome. Alright. We're going to have to catch this one now. Let me go ahead and throw a save state. This thing should be able to take a Shadow Ball, right? Ah, perfect. Okay, that's kind of cool. Go ahead and catch you in a Premier Ball because the situation demands it. Damn it. Catch. Thank you. So there you go. Shiny Cloister. Why the hell not? I figured that would be the case, but guess I can't complain too much. We about done here? Okay. That should do the trick. Oh, so you actually can fight Janine right now, can you? Evidently you can. That's kind of cool, I guess. Obviously, since she's the 5th in line, I'm obviously not going to be doing that, so... we're about 23 minutes into the segment, and if we take into account sped up stuff... that might not be too bad. I feel like it might not have been a bad idea to actually have done this segment last night, because Route 18 actually has Honchkrow as Meridian Sound. And if I did it in yesterday's... If I did today's segment yesterday, and just like set it to upload today, I'd have been able to come across a Honchkrow. Oh well, I guess I have no real reason to complain too much about that. So I guess I'll just knock over these random schmucks. And then probably just speed up my way through Cycling Road. I suppose I might as well mention now that the Cycling Road in question, actually, get a load of this. Remember how I said that you can find Honchkrow in the wild, but you can't find Miss Magius? Turns out I was actually wrong. I actually was going through the list of radio sound stuff that you could encounter in different areas, and it actually turns out that Mismagius is in fact encounterable in the wild as a Meridian Sound Pokemon on Cycling Road, otherwise known as Route 17. The reason I missed this is because when I actually, I did a Control F on the document, typed the name in, and I couldn't find anything, so I assumed that it just didn't exist. It turns out I actually found out, the area that it was actually in, and the name was misspelled. So it ended up going directly under the radar and made me think that you couldn't find Mismagius in the wild. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So let's have a look at this Cloyster. Skill Link, yes. That's decent, I guess, if you want to give it a freaking Icicle Spear or whatever. It is quirky in nature, though, which is neutral, which therefore sucks. Oh well, I guess I'll take it. I don't know. I don't necessarily mind it. But there you go. There's your free shiny Cloyster if you ever wanted to give it a crack. I guess I don't really know why, because you're already at, you've already got 11 badges, you're pretty much done with the game. If you're gonna add something to the team, it might as well be something as outlandish as a shiny Cloyster, but obviously I'm not going to be adding it to the team, so there you go. And the Slowpoke is just sort of still sitting here, doing absolutely nothing. Didn't have a thing attached to it or anything like that in that kerfuffle, and so it's probably just going to spend the rest of its days as a boring old thing. So here we have Route 19, which is currently blocked off. It's actually quite unfortunate because I'm only maybe 10 tiles away from the water here, and this water contains the last 2 Pokemon that I need to catch with a fishing rod. Unfortunately, it is pretty damn obvious to me at this point that I need to get a few more badges before I can actually get there, because I can't quite remember how you're supposed to get to Cinnabar Island. I think you actually have to go down from Pallet Town, so you probably have to go back to Pewter City, go around the forest, and then go down in that sort of direction, and then go south to Cinnabar, and then go east. But I'm pretty sure you can find the stuff in Route 20 anyway, and that's the one that's east of Cinnabar anyway, so okay. Without further ado, more cutting, or, oh wait. Okay, we about good now? Okay, cool. I think we're in a good situation. Right. Once again, more speed up as I knock through these stupid bikers, cue balls, and all that sort of random crap. And second attempt doing this little bit of post-commentary because I kind of just, had to forcefully end it abruptly because I've only got 2 minutes and 10 seconds to talk about this. Thankfully, I've not made a whole lot of progress in this playthrough, so all I have to do is talk about what the team members I currently have are. This is my Alpha Sapphire Mystery Egg Run, as I mentioned earlier. At the moment, I've only got 5 of the 6 eggs that I have had sorted out for me. I'm still waiting for the one that's coming from Girate. Hopefully, he'll be able to send that across sooner rather than later. But as for the team that I've got right now, I have a Bergmite, not a Berkmite, which was sent from Wet Otters. I named this thing Fendrana because there is an enemy in Metroid Prime in the Fendrana Drifts area that resembles a Bergmite, so I decided to give it the name. Next, I got sent from TSF Toothpaste a cast form, which I named Kinto-un. This is the Japanese name of the flying Nimbus from Dragon Ball, so I figured it would only make sense to name it that. Next, from Autumn Laramia, I received an Elgium. I named this thing BKM as a reference to a very shitty show called Butt Ugly Martians. I then got sent a Larvesta from Tristana GW. I named this thing Magistus after Helios Duo Magistus from Yu-Gi-Oh! There's also Helio Trice Magistus, so could just use either of those as the reference, but point is there's a bit of a sun relation there, so it only makes sense. And then lastly, I have from Mars Prower 1010 an Omanite, which I named Right Round. If you think that's a terrible name, just consider the fact that I was going to name it after the horse from the Hannah Montana movie, Blue Jeans. So, there you go. I think Right Round's going to be definitely a better choice there. So, all I have to do is wait for the egg from Girate, and then I'll probably stick that in an annotation at some point, or just mention it in a future segment. But for now, that is it. That is the last Pokemon playthrough of the day that I will be talking about here. And so, without further ado, I will be returning you to live commentary. So, there you go. Alright, well, that's out of the way. I never actually bothered to check what you could find on Route 17 with Pastoral Sound. For all I know, there's probably something else that I can find. As far as I'm aware, though, I think there's only like maybe 2 or 3 Pokemon left at most with Pastoral Sound that I don't already have. Random. I guess this sort of counts as the secret retreat. 2-step. What the hell? Shit. That sucks. I was hoping he'd have some kind of saying that starts with B. Because then I could call it like biking through the B, whatever the hell, Bivalves. Something. I don't know. Whatever, we're in Celadon City now. Whole bunch of shit that we can do here. 31 minutes into the segment, and so I'm probably approaching around about 30 minutes now. I don't really see myself going up against any gym leaders. I have discovered Crash a wank, though. Now, unlike most of the other gym leaders from Sinnoh that you find here, Crash Awake actually isn't so much implemented into the like Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, because you actually do encounter him normally. I think he's like the one that you have more interaction with than any of the others. So, and he just gives me a Turtwig mask, then gives me the Chimchar mask, and then gives me the Piplup mask. Okay. That's cool, I guess, and he just sort of buggers off. So I guess the question now is, what the hell do I get from these idiots? Nothing out of the ordinary. What about this? Nothing out of the ordinary. Fucking mail. It pissed me off to a great deal whenever I would find mail out of a Pokeloot chest in Pixelmon. You have no idea how freaking annoying it was. Okay, so what do we have here? 81 is X-Scissor, 53 is Energy Ball. 71 is Stone Edge, 26 is Earthquake. If I can get some Earthquake onto anything, then I'd be freaking happy to do that, because now I have infinite access to them. I think that's Avalanche. That, I think, is actually Dark Pulse. That might not be too bad. What have we got? That's Frustration, that's Return. That's Swagger. I think that's like Captivate or something like that. That's Taunt, and that's Torment. Not a bad selection, if I'm gonna be perfectly fair. I already have Dark... Okay, have I got my entire team with me at the moment? Yes, I do. Alright, let's see what I can teach to stuff. Can anything learn Flash Cannon? No. Okay, so Flash Cannon's out. Dark Pulse. Can anything learn Dark Pulse? Bulbat and Turbo Drum can get it. Trap Tricks can get it as well, but it's a physical attacker, so obviously I'm not going to say yes to that. I think I'm right. I think I'd rather have the Shadow Ball anyway, just for type difference, if anything else. Stone Edge. Only things that can learn it are Kaiser, which is more special based, and Floofen, which I'm still sort of debating on. I think the only reason I'm debating on it now is because if I don't like Stone Edge and want to go back to Rock Slide, I've only got one Rock Slide TM left to use and I can't get any more. So, I'm still on the fence about that. I might do it for like Red or something like that, but for now, probably not. Can anything get Energy Ball? Trap Tricks and absolutely nobody else. I don't think there's anything else on that list that I really want to grab, so I guess we're just going to give it a complete miss this time around. What do you have? Roost, Dig, and Grass Knot. Okay, you're even worse. Because there's absolutely no way in hell that I would want any of those. What do you give out? Battle items, and I guess you're the one that sells the drugs? You sell the boaty drugs? You sell the boaty drugs, alright. I don't really care about the boaty drugs, so I guess we're just gonna sort of bugger off out of here. Don't much care about it, so Might as well just sort of keep exploring here. I'll probably get to around about 40 and then stop, because with all the sped up stuff, I might be able to shave it down to about 35 minutes. So this is where we get items for our coins. That is a damn sight better than, well, not so much a damn sight better, but if I did enough Voltorb flip, I can get some Psychic TMs. Actually, what are the held items here? Nothing that we don't already have. What about here? Tyrogue, Eevee, Metang. I don't need Tyrogue. Yeah, I don't need any Tyrogues. I don't need Eevee. I've already got all the evolutions, and I only need a Beldum. And I think I can get a Beldum. I can't remember exactly where I can get a Beldum from, but I know I can get it from somewhere. It's not in the wild though, so I guess I could, like, I could just breed one of my Metang and get a freaking Beldum egg that way, but, I think you can get one off, like, Steven or something like that. That might be an in-game trade, though, so that might be just a different thing altogether. So, there's the Celadon Gym, which we'll be doing next time, because let's just walk in there, see what we have to freaking put up with. Yeah, there's just this. And, let me actually go ahead and grab Floofin out here, because I've got to show off something stupid. I might have to get myself into a battle here. Because there's just this random bit of water here. Does this work? Yeah, Floofin seems unhappy to have taken a shower. Which I quite like. I think the only reason I knew about that is because when Jish did his Tex LP of this game, he actually went around to... he recorded like his battles of all the Kanto gyms, which was kind of nice. Also, I like how all these bowls are stacked up. Does Maylene seriously just have that much of an appetite? Okay. Bit of a Goku in that one, so whatever. Random schmuck here. He used to give you the soft boiled TM back in the day. And then when soft boiled was removed as a TM, you just sort of became the tutor for it. And instead now he's just relegated to the role of telling you that you can find Grimer in this water. Because Celadon is supposed to be like... It's supposed to be all fancy and stuff. It's got a grass gym. You'd think it'd be like natural and shit. But it's not. It's probably the most polluted city in the freaking... in the world, I guess. Looks like you can't... There's no longer a back way into this building. So I guess we'll have to see what the building looks like when we enter it. Yeah, it's a lot more open-ended. There's still the old lady there that gives you the tea and fire red and leaf green. Okay, so the third floor is Game Freak, and then there's just Lyra, who has collected all the Kanto, but yeah, well, see, the thing with that, though, is that she's referring to the GB sounds, which I have had since the very start of the game. So I guess the only... Yeah, I guess he'll still give you something, but obviously it's not going to be the GB sounds. So, this is where you come to once you've completed your Pokédex, and he will give you a nice little diploma for that. I think he gives you a diploma for completing your original Dex, and then another one for completing the National Dex. So, I believe we want to go down to the first floor, because the way that these elevators work is very, very dumb. And if you go up to the second floor, you can take this elevator that takes you up here. And there's just this random schmuck. And apparently he has a scary story to tell, which you can only tell once it is sunset. Okay. In that case, I guess the only real place we have left to explore is the game corner itself. Not that it's actually that interesting, because it is quite literally just... I would say it's quite literally just the same as it was in Goldenrod, but there is quite clearly no, like, person that sells you coins, unless that person is in here. Okay, well that's cool. I already have a list of the hidden power types that all my Pokemon have. I've had them since, like, maybe part 20 or something like that, around about when I found Bulbat in the wild. Nope, you blew your opportunity. And I'm gonna laugh there in your face as a result of it. Insert just random clip of Nelson going ha ha here. I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to risk my channel getting taken down and they'll fricking do it. They're that fricking Nazi about it, they'll fricking do it. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. Alright. Just went like a minute overtime or whatever the hell, like above my quota, but whatever. I'll still be able to push this below 40 minutes, and now all I gotta do is just actually be quick about frickin' proof watching it and shit like that. That's how you see all the little, annotations and stuff like that, even though the last couple segments didn't have any of those. But they do give me stuff like the, Professor Oak thing, which I suppose I should actually end by mentioning that, upon the acquisition of the Grand Bull at the top of this segment, my Pokedex has now registered 400 Pokemon as caught. It's also at 482 seen, which leaves just 11 Pokemon, which I guess means that if we go down towards the end of the Kanto Dex, it actually does register these things as seen in the Pokedex, which is kind of freaking cool. It was that book that I showed off earlier that showed all of the legendaries, so I guess that means we've already got Ho-Oh registered as seen, and Celebi and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. I guess that just means that there's a few Pokemon left. I mean, I know there's 11, and 3 of those are in the Johto starter category. I guess it's just 3, 6, 7, let's see, 8, 9. I guess I just skipped over the other 2. Whatever. Point is, I've already got all those legendaries as seen. Now I've just got to go and freaking pick them up. Most of those are going to require me to get 16 badges, though, so that's not going to be for quite a while. Anyways, next time we're going to be knocking over Celadon Gym, and probably going to end up... well, it actually is, yeah, tomorrow is Friday, isn't it? Oh, well, we'll just, yeah, knock over Celadon Gym, and then our next... It's probably going to be another double gym segment, actually, because it's literally going to be nothing else but that, so... Yeah, going to get a couple more badges next time, and that's probably going to be the extent of what's going to happen in that segment, so... Guess it just sort of depends on how quickly I go through them. I might just sort of slow it down and sort of pace it out a bit, because once I've knocked those 2 over, I probably have to go and knock over another gym in the following segment. So, yeah, I think at this rate, it's going to be 2 gyms tomorrow, Ho-Oh on Monday, and then probably fit Saffron Gym in there somewhere, unless there's like some other side quest, but I'd say at this point we're pretty much done with the majority of the Kanto side of the story, so yeah, it just kind of just hit us there, didn't it? Alright, I've been winding this segment down for the last like freaking minute and a half, so yeah, I will see you tomorrow for more cheesecake. Don't know why I keep saying cheesecake.